Oh, yeah. So that's better. You can hear me? Oh, very good. Yeah, thanks very much for the introduction. I'm not sure I can satisfy the high hopes for a fully intelligent von Neumann bot, but I'll try and we'll see what I can come up with. Today I'll be talking about the EuropeanaBot, and the title of my talk is Using Open Data and Open APIs to Present Digital Collections. This is a rather long title, so we could also just ask, what has this gardening tool to do with computers? Well, there are two main themes for my presentation. One is serendipity versus the classical Boolean search, and the other one is collections as autonomous entities. Collections that act for themselves, a bit like this intelligent robots. Well, let's start with the first one. Serendipity, here's a definition: an unsought, unintended or unexpected but fortunate discovery and or learning experience that happens by accident. Well, that's serendipity. That's not serendipity. That's a classical opaque search, and don't get me wrong, search is great, you can do great stuff with it, but we also tend to hide our great objects, our great digital collections behind search firms. If we use our search firms as gatekeeper between the patrons, between the users and the great digital collections, we'll hinder serendipity. So that's the first thing. And yeah, think back on our libraries. Here, there's a description about the library in an article, a newspaper article. The library is precious provider of unpredictability. You know, the classic textbook case of serendipity is browsing on the shelves of a library and then stumbling about great stuff, about finding some great new information. This works perfectly with books, with our analog material, but not so very well with digital collections. We try something like that, like putting QR codes on shelves or using digital picture frames to present our electronic resources on the shelves, but this is all something like a crutch. There are some new approaches needed. That's not only my opinion, that's a rather wide opinion. Here's a little quote from a talk by Tom Schofield, who also talked about this need that we have to have new interfaces for digital collections. Here he talks an opportunity for archival interfaces which adopt rhetorical positions. Talking conversations. This may sound a little bit strange at first. Let me expand on that. Here's another Twitter dialogue about conversations with collections, and here the talk about that every collection has its own unique personality, and we just have to find a way to bring out this unique personality and bring it out to our patrons and our users. I already said talking collections sounds a bit strange, but we have a precedent. Just think back about museums, the classical audio guide. You get these little gadgets from the information desk, then you walk up to the picture, type in a number, and the picture, the image talks to you and talks about the collections. This is not very comfortable. I think with our digital collections, we should also talk into the digital sphere, and this is where such Twitter accounts like EuropeanaBot come in. We have digital collections. They also should talk in the digital sphere. Our users are already there. They use Twitter, they use Facebook, and so why not connect with them on this sphere? Well, of course, yeah, I already said Twitter is a good way to bring out information about the collections, because not only users can follow their accounts, they also stumble upon our tweets or messages via searches or via hashtags. This is a rather effective method. Well, of course, you don't have to type this whole Twitter messages manually. There's something like Twitter bots, which is just a class of software which is used to compose such tweets automatically. There's a wide variety of such Twitter bots. There's one that writes verses in iambic pentameter. There's one who imitates church bells. And if you put this gadget here into your flower pot, then your plant will tweet automatically when it needs water. So there's a wide variety of Twitter bots. And one such Twitter bot is EuropeanaBot. EuropeanaBot is based on the Europeana API, the application programming interface of the European Digital Library. They came out with it, and then every developer thinks, oh, there's a new tool, what can you do with it? And one thing to do with it was EuropeanaBot. It was inspired by the EuropeanaBot, which is a similar collection bot who just tweets random findings from the Digital Public Library of America. Maybe you've heard of it. EuropeanaBot is live since July of last year and has sent approximately 7,000 tweets up so far. And of course, I've licensed the source code as open source, so feel free to fork, adapt, contribute, whatever. So, okay, this is EuropeanaBot. What does it do exactly? It uses open data collections, open APIs to tweet interesting things about the Europeana, interesting images. What does interesting mean? Connections are interesting, new connections are interesting. So I've tried to make some kind of catalog enrichment. At the first start I used an open list of place names, Austrian place names, and now also European capitals, to find images which relate to these place names. Because I thought, you know, so old pictures of some villages and towns, old maps is pretty interesting stuff, let's bring it out there. Famous people are interesting, so I've also took an open data list of Nobel Prize winners and is there a corresponding image in the Europeana? But of course you don't know all these names, who is this guy, who is this person. Then I used the Wikipedia application programming interface to find the corresponding Wikipedia page. This is what you see here on the lower picture. Image of Paul Krugman. Europeana has a picture, and here's the Wikipedia page, so you can learn something new. I also use the Guardian API. The Guardian has a very cool API where you can get news articles and also the keywords that they use to catalog them. And with these keywords, I also look in the Europeana, are there some corresponding images, which is sometimes quite funny. Here you see Guardian has a news item about Germany, and here you have a poster which says something like break Elag, which is a health and safety inspector poster from Germany. So it's quite entertaining. And the last API we use is WordNik. WordNik is a website which deals with words, and they have a feature words of the day, and so every day at 1 p.m. My bot looks okay, what's WordNik's word of the day? Do we have a corresponding image? And then he tweets about it. And also, the second interesting thing about the Wikipedia, they also have the random page function. You know, where you can get lost for hours, random page, some new interesting stuff. I also use this API to find images which relate to random Wikipedia pages. So there are also some tweets about fish ladders or other obscure stuff. This is also, this works by the way that the EuropeanaBot posts on the hour. It's basically rolls a dice, and then it says, okay, I'll take this collection, I'll take this API, and then I'll tweet about it. So that's one thing. That's the hard facts about Europeana. But the EuropeanaBot is a private project, so nobody stops him from having fun with it. So I try to give the EuropeanaBot some kind of digital persona. He likes MC Hammer, so randomly he tweets something like stop hammer time and then a picture from the Europeana about the hammer. So he likes 80s hip-hop. He also likes unicorns, and like everyone on the internet, he likes cat pictures, and randomly sometimes posts a picture about a cat. He dislikes Monday mornings and talks about it, and he also participates in Follow Fridays. That's a kind of Twitter tradition where on Friday we recommend other Twitter accounts. Of course, EuropeanaBot recommends other Twitter accounts from the Europeana surrounding, like Europeana Fashion, Europeana Tech. There are several Twitter accounts from Europeana. So it's so there are some random character traits that come up with EuropeanaBot because I wanted to make in some kind of fit in the Twitter universe, and not that this is just the kind of RSS feed of Europeana items. I want them to have some kind of personality, to have some kind of fun. So this is the EuropeanaBot, and this is what it does. What are the reactions with it? Here's just two samples. On this side, someone has learned something new, which is something that we librarians, of course, want. Here's The EuropeanaBot brought him some new information, that's nice. On the other hand, this is an example of the Wikipedia API. So I just took a random Wikipedia page and EuropeanaBot searched with it in the Europeana images. It's a classical Wikipedia enrichment. And then some Wikipedia editor found this, and he also brought back the link to the Wikipedia, so we have an enrichment in two directions. On the one hand, Europeana content is enriched by Wikipedia, and on the other hand, Wikipedia is enriched by Europeana content. So this is a very fruitful collaboration, and maybe you can automate things like this. So you can automatical enrichment by Wikipedia pages. This could be some interesting developments in the future. Yeah, also Europeana, the portal got aware of this, but as I said, they put the API out in the open, so they were happy with it, that I made this kind of project with it. So these are some reactions. I also have some statistics, and I don't really like to show them, because as I said, EuropeanaBot is a kind of private project, so no marketing has been done, so just word of mouth. It just has come like 58 followers. It should go up after this talk, hopefully, and approximately 16 hits per URL, but also up to 120 if some images get distributed. This is a good example for an image that got distributed. Guardian has a news item about hacking, and then the word hacking was used to search in the Europeana. They have some kind of stemming in place, so hacking became Hacke, which is the German word for garden hoe. So this image of a garden tool came up to a Guardian article about hacking. So this is the kind of entertaining tidbits that EuropeanaBot unearthed and makes it fun to follow. And also the content gets retweets, gets favorites, and it's very interesting which places these Europeana tweets then come up. In a Fukushima newsletter, for example, there was a picture that the EuropeanaBot tweeted. So it's not just these small sample of followers. I use hashtags, people use searches, so the content gets around. Hopefully more if you all follow EuropeanaBot and retweet and favorite and get the content out. So that's the statistics part. EuropeanaBot is just one example of similar projects, and it just, for the end of my presentation, I just want to present some similar projects. These are two that I made myself. DDB Katzen, it posts cat pictures. As I said, the internet likes cat pictures, so it posts cat pictures from the German Digital Library, DDB Katzen. And the second one is Herr Katachwil schaut nach. That's a kind of the persona of a grumpy librarian who wanders through the stacks and puts up some images also related to place names. The interesting thing with this project is fill a blog automatically with pictures about German place names, and so I can get this content out of the deep web, so to speak. People who use Google to search for Burgringe Freudenburg, they would never find the stuff that is in the digital public library in the German digital library, because that's in a database, that's in the deep web. But here I've put this content out in the open, and people who use Google or other search engines, they stumble upon it. So I liberated this content, so to speak. Similar projects, DDB Katzen was just a rip-off of historical cats. He uses the Digital Public Library of America to search for cat pictures. And Trove Newsbot is from the National Library of Australia. That was kind of the first collection bot. The interesting thing about this bot is it is interactive. So you can tweet your searches to Trove Newsbot, and then it answers with a digitized newspaper article to your search. These are the two bots. Yeah, you will hear about this tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to this talk. Mechanical Curator, very great project. I like it. As in the past, this is also very great. This is more art than search interface, so to speak. It's also from the National Library of Australia. They have this digitized newspaper archive. So they programmatically just got out the eyes of the digitized newspapers, of the faces in the newspaper articles, puts them randomly on a web page, and when you click on an eye, you get the whole face, and the source, in which newspaper, on which date this article was published, and you take another click, then you get the newspaper article. So this is the kind of maximum distance to our normal search, opaque, form, whatever. This is more art than librarianship, so to say. It's a very, very cool, very poetic way to explore our digital content, as in the past. Yeah, which brings me to my conclusion. We hide great objects behind search firms. Search firms are great, but we also need some new tools, some new methods and mechanics to bring our content out in the digital sphere. And if our users are already on Twitter or on, why not also go there and put our content out there. Let the collections speak for themselves. EuropeanaBot is an example. The great thing is he acts autonomous, sorry for my English. You just put in the seeds that you want to use, and then there's no maintenance. He just runs on and on and on, and he just rolls the dice every hour and looks in different sources and different APIs about which thing should I tweet. It's totally random. It's every hour you get some new item. So you don't have to do much work for it. You don't have to do much maintenance. You just start it, and it works and speaks for themselves. And people out there will listen. You know, the follower numbers are unfortunately a little low, but as I demonstrated, the content gets around, and it's not much work, but it brings results. That's the great thing out there. So if you're interested, here's the URL for the Twitter bot, and here's the GitHub repository for the code. It's just Perl. So you just can download it, fork it, adapt it, maybe make your own collection bot with your digital collections, feel free to. And here's my blog and my Twitter account if you want to see what else I'm up to it. So that's from me for now, and I think we still have time for questions. So I'm interested what you think about all this stuff. Thanks.
You have 5 new people using the EuropeanaBot.
Oh, 5 new, thanks.
So, people who doesn't do anything following of EuropeanaBot, can I show the hands? Because they have to ask a question. So we have a choice, or EuropeanaBot, or ask.
Have you seen any impact of the links the bot tweets to Google rankings or anything like that?
No, I haven't analyzed anything. The one thing that I did was I used URL shorteners for the links that I tweeted, so that would have some kind of rough statistics for it. But I just did this for a month or so and just analyzed, okay, how much traffic does go via the tweets to the content behind it. But I didn't experiment with Google search rankings. It would be interesting for the blog project. There I've seen in the blog statistics that people came via Google searches, but didn't make any analysis about search rankings or something like that.
I have a question. Because you are using the bots to enrich metadata records.
Yeah.
But you have also the information there of users, which tweets they like, which tweets they don't like. And could this be a measure that search engines could use to do some kind of ranking of more important things in the collection?
I mean, the great thing is with Twitter that you can download your archive of tweets in various data formats, and they also have the kind of favorites and likes. So you can get some kind of measurement, but of course it's not really accurate because most prominent tweet was the one about hacking, and it doesn't say anything that this picture of this gardening tool was so great in the Europeana. It was just the connection between the Guardian article and the picture, which was kind of funny because a new connection, you didn't expect something like that. So it doesn't say anything about the content itself. It says something about the enrichment and something about the tweet. So I would be very cautious to use something like that.
Thank you. Thank you. Then we go on to the next speaker.